Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into the brand new Marvel Legends figures recently revealed from New York Comic Con 2025, right? I had the pleasure of meeting Dan Yun there and got some really good information from the upcoming figures, right? Including these. Now, these are part of the new Build-A-Figure wave that, when combined, form together Executioner. There's a total of 7 of them, but once again, Wolverine's actually left out of the mix and doesn't include any BAF part for some reason. Although they're looking pretty solid so far, let's dive in and see if any of these 7 new figures are actually worth their cash. So let's start off with first with Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, right? Here he's rocking like one of his newer armors, the Mark 72, right? This suit features him rocking like a Mysterium mechanical sort of like pilot suit with removable wrist gear and the pretty cool repulsive blast. Right now, truth be told, I'm not too much of a fan of this armor because it looks way too similar to Ironheart. Still not a bad piece of armor, but again, it's too similar to Ironheart, so I don't really like it too much. The design features a nice tech-heavy aesthetic, with that Mysterium look plating and removable accessory attachments, which is pretty cool. The paint applications look pretty solid so far and features that metallic sort of paints and weathering, which should kind of read again more like Mysterium, which is less flat, or actually more flat, and not too glassy, which is good. Now, notable points is the two removable wrist attachments and repulsor effects are sort of perfect for like the mid-flight and mechanical combat or mech combat photos, right? So if you depending on you want to pose them, you do have those options there, which is good, right? In terms of accessories, it comes with 6 of them, including 2 Executioner BAF pieces, right? So you get the 2 alternate hands for gripping and flight stances, 2 removable wrist attachments that swap for like piloting or repulsor firing modes, 2 more repulsor blast effects, right? So you get the blast sequences there, and again the Executioner BAF pieces, excuse me, are included in the box, right? So overall, nice figure. With some good paint application and accessories. I'll still pick it up because I want to build this figure, but not my favorite armor, right? Next up here is the Dark Avengers Spider-Man. Now, this version of Spidey features the storyline of AI, well, I don't know how to pronounce the AI, Apex Spider-Man, right? Variant with 4 extra arms. Let me know in the comments if I'm completely miss or butchering this, unfortunately. But I believe this figure features the same body used from Spider-Man. It looks pretty decent so far, right? In terms of design, it does have that creepy, like, alternate Spider-Man with the APEC origin. So you'll be able to get some interesting poses with this one. In terms of face and head sculpt, the alternate head is crucial for capturing someone the nice. Then he switches there, so you do get some nice expressions. It does have, again, 6 arm articulation, potential for some dynamic multi-limb displays. In terms of the anatomy, it looks pretty interesting. Again, the extra arms require some clever like posing to get, reduce the visual clutter because it is 6 arms, 3 on each side, so it looks kind of staggered, but not too bad, right? Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with 3 of them, including the alternate head, as the and rather the executioner bath piece, right? 2 alternate hands plus alternate head for identity variety, right? So you can kind of flip it on and off, which is good. Extra limbs articulation, use kind of different props to create Spider-Man like poses because it looks like he has a lot of nice articulation, really low or high, which is good. And again, the executioner bath piece included. Overall, I do like the implications and the 6 arms here because it's probably a trigger has some nice articulation rather to it. And still, again, not a fan of this version of Spidey, but I'll be picking it up anyway. Next up here is Enchantress. She's that really cool as Guardian Sorceress that comes with magical effects and some additional pieces to it. Right, the design features like a flowing Guardian sort of robe and hair. That's really translated pretty well into the figure. It also gives you like in motion when static versus translucent and glossy magic accessories, right? Which has some nice contrast to it, especially since her paint application is pretty more matte. Right, she also has some nice magical blast effects that really complement like that sorceress identity, which is nice. So it is a little. I think this is probably better than the original one that was released several years back. But it looks pretty good so far. Right. In terms of accessories, she comes with the 3 accessories and 1 execution bath piece again. Right. So 2 alternate hands for like spell casting sort of gestures. You can get some nice cinematic poses there as well, and the magical blast effect that mounts to her hand and like allows her to float or for levitation. Some nice levitation poses. So they're pretty good. So a nice new release of Enchantress. I feel like this was looking like a well placed upgrade over the original release. Next one up here is Phantom Rider, who is like this old West vigilante with like that glowing white aesthetic and mostly like ghostly vibes. At first glance, the design reminds me a lot of Moon Knight, especially Mr. Knight, in terms of the figure body and sculpt. The design features a nice sculpted uniform and Western sort of like silhouette, matching it pretty well. The white and white palette looks pretty good. Especially under like warm, cool lighting. So looks pretty decent overall. There's some nice high contrast white to it as well. So overall looks pretty flat and clean, but overall not a bad paint application there. The terms of like the articulation, looks like he has a solid hip there. But you also get the shoulder range for like that lasso sort of excuse me, look, right? So you can kind of give him that old western look and feel rather. Now, in terms of accessories, it does come with 3 alternate hands for, like, the expressive gestures, the gripping accessories, when it holds them, and then the signature Western pose one, right? 2 weapon accessories likely include, like, or do include the revolver, spectral slash, like, weapon, because he's kind of like Ghost. Again, the executioner bath piece as well. So solid, good solid figure of one, and although I'm not too familiar with this dude, I may just pick him up again just for the bath pieces. Next one up here is release of Werewolf by Night. Right, this figure features the classic Jack Russell like lycanthrope sort of like horror display energy, which is cool. Right, in terms of design, it looks like he has a bigger presence and sort of like beastly anatomy, right? So expect like larger hands, like in terms of how you pose him, because he is a little larger in some of the appendages. Now, two execution parts suggest that he's integrated into like the larger wave narrative, which is good. So you get more like, I mean, this is a good one to pick up if you're looking to build a set. It does again have bulkier proportions, excuse me, which means that like you'll require some like wider shelf spacing for him, but not too bad. The dry brushing and later paint, that's meant to look like fairly pretty good. Looks like it came out pretty well overall, especially all over that flat brown. So good job by Hasbro. As for accessories, well, unfortunately, he has none. He does have that BAF centric like release with again the execution pieces, but he has no accessories, which I find kind of strange. I don't know what you could have given him, but I feel he's just lacking there. But generally speaking, it is still pretty solid figure, especially if you're a fan of Werewolf by Night. And I'll be picking it up, but unfortunately, he's light on the accessory department. Next one up here is Warbow. Now, I'm not too familiar with this Green Lantern look like, but I understand he was like the captain of the Royal Guard from the Crystar saga, I believe. He features this highly translucent green, like paint applications, and and sort of like archer accessories able to rock. Figure design has it more like in a fantasy sort of guard, like with some cloth like sculpting. So interesting. The crossbow piece is like the main accessory there, right? Because he's a warbow, right? or a bow guy. But generally speaking, not too bad. The sculpt should read like more like armor plating there in terms of how he's actually developed. But I do like the green. Just that figure body isn't the greatest, or the character model isn't the greatest, right? Now, in terms of the accessories, he does come with the back pieces, the alternate hands for relaxed and firing grips, and then the ball right. So not a bad kit by any stretch, but not again not a favorite figure of mine. That's I'm not sure if I'll be buying to collect, but just buying more for the bath piece, right? And last one up here is Wolverine World War II. Right, this custom figure features Logan like more gritty, like field ready self. That's pretty aligned with like that wartime look and feel, which is pretty cool. Right, very authentic there. He featured a nice, like, gritty, like, look in terms of the gear itself, and a lot of small details, like the satchel knife there exists, so you get a lot of that nuances. He does have the alternate head and multiple hands to create like some nice narrative options in terms of like battlefield World War II type. It does come with some accessories, which is the most in the wave, which is pretty good, but no bath piece again. So like, you get like the head swaps, the knife, satchel, so pretty decent set of accessories. But again, it's like an extra, like number 7 with no bath piece. So overall, not a bad figure, right? Is just another Wolverine. Maybe worth collecting, especially if you like the World War II look of him. But it depends if you like it or not. Just wish he came with a bath part or something extra for execution, right? So there you have it, folks. Thanks for joining me tonight. Took a closer look into 7 new figures coming out soon as part of the Marvel Legends Execution BAF Wave. This wave is one of those like rare mixes that brings sort of like something for everyone, especially in terms of like the horror, fantasy, wartime grit, cosmic armor. So a lot of different or interesting mix of figures. Now, if you collect for a sculpting or a storytelling, Wolverine World War II is pretty cool. Enchantress really stands out on your shelf as well. So a lot of good options here. That's from the 7 figures. but not not the most popular, right? But let me know in the comments below if you plan on picking any of these up or want to complete the entire wave or just want to pick them up for the complete the wave, right? And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more content, the coolest Marvel figures around. Until next time, folks, keep on collecting.